In this video, I'm going to go through the prep for lesson 1, and you will find the link below in the window if you want to open up the teacher edition, which you can find in your Google Drive. I do suggest you download your unit if you have not done so already, but this is my copy of the teacher edition, and I provided a link below if you want to open it up and take a look. It'll bookmark it straight to the materials prep on page 4. Before we jump into the materials prep, I just want to show you what every teacher edition has to offer. And that would be, first of all, a little bit of looking back and looking forward. So what was done in the previous lesson, what we're doing in this lesson, where we're going in the next lesson, very helpful. You will see that we've got the color-coded 3-dimensional learning goals. These are called LLPEs. They are your formative assessments, the goals of the lesson that engage students in all 3 dimensions. Talks about what students will figure out. And then this is a pacing guide. It breaks it up into parts, and the teacher edition will have parts that relate to this. It tells you what slides connects to those parts, tells you what prep or materials you're going to need, and it gives you an approximate duration. I will tell you, your first time through, you will not meet this duration that is shared. This is for someone who's gone through it many times and is advanced in doing this. So expect it's going to take longer. Now, lesson 1, going through the anchoring phenomenon routine, usually takes about 4 days. You need to spend all of the time preparing students to launch the rest of the unit. So if you're going to cut any time, let it be later on, not lesson 1, because that's where you get kids curious. You really set up everything, including the questions, to drive the learning. So do not skip out on lesson 1. So you can see this lesson 1 is actually 3 days. And so you should be able to get through it in about 4 if it's your first time. Now you notice there is a materials list. It's kind of a checklist of materials that you'll need per student, per class. The main one here would be the red and green cards, and then some handouts to make copies of course, scissors if you're going to cut them and put them in your notebook. So a little bit different how each person might place these in their notebook. But then you've got a lot of posters to make. And of course, the CD cases that they're going to model and kind of break, safety goggles if they're going to break CD cases. So list of materials you need to get. Now, here's the materials prep that I wanted to go over. And that would be making copies of your handouts. So that would be the initial model. And I think, I'm not sure if there's any more, but you could take a look. And then you need several different posters. And the first one is different collisions poster. That's the A, B, and C that I shared with you. The related phenomenon poster. And this one is where we're going to make that kind of horizontal bar graph. It talks about the 3 rows and the red and the green, and then a consensus model poster. So, a fourth poster, what factors and variables could influence whether a collision causes damage. So if I go down below, you can see this is really the setup for the 4 posters. Sometimes I will cheat a little bit and have extra stuff drawn on here, but not in this case. I will say this one, I will have the 3 scenarios cut out on a blank white piece of paper. So I have 3 cards I can take on and off per class. You can use 3 large sticky notes if you want, but I have that pre-drawn because just drawing in front of students takes so long. So I have the object that's getting down, or your cell phone moving, and then the orange block not moving. Then the one where this one's moving, you get the idea. The A, B, and C, I think I mentioned that in the prior video. This is the related phenomenon poster. So you'll have this one side by side with this one. I would say the biggest thing is to have your ABC line up with your ABC. So this one is actually a lot bigger. I don't know if it'll show it. Be lined up like this. But you probably are going to need, you're probably going to need 2 chart papers for a big class because you're going to line them up. You usually can get about 2 rows per area here. This is the 3rd poster where you're going to talk about, it's your initial class consensus. We're talking about damage and no damage. I remember I said the top row and first column are filled out, but the center you're going to do with students as they share ideas. And this 4th one, I did it a little differently. I did the T chart with the patterns and the factors and variables, can be much easier. All you need to do is put this title at the top and just list their ideas of what factors and variables could influence whether a collision between two objects causes damage. It's going to be things like speed, mass, angle, things like that might cause damage. So there's not a lot of investigations with this lesson. There's just a lot of charts. So I want you to think about what you need to do to get ready for this lesson, and just make a quick post in the discussion board about what you think you're going to do to help prep, make it easier on yourself. And if you have something you make that's great, share it with other people using a link. All right, good luck with lesson 1.